Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session where we are going to make a full web page using Bootstrap, and that too in just 1 hour. I hope all of you are excited for the session as much as I am. And yes, the web page will be responsive because we are using a CSS framework known as Bootstrap. So quickly before we begin, let's take a quick check of the audience. Can anyone, can everyone hear me properly? There's no lag in sound or the video. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. No lag. That's great. Okay, so I see a few new people joining us today. So, everyone, just let me know from where you are joining, your city, your state, whatever. Let's see what kind of audience do we have here today. Hello, Viresh. Okay, so yesterday, for those of you who did not join, so yesterday we had a session where we made a responsive navigation bar. So the link will be available in .doco Nation server, so you can grab it from there. So we have Bangalore, we have Maharashtra, great. Come on, guys. I know most of you are from the community, but still, just write down in the chat box so that people know where you're from. Yeah, Haryana, that's great. Meerut, Uttar Pradesh, amazing. Ahmedabad, Gwalior, Maharashtra again, that's great. Okay, so I once again welcome the new people who are joining for the first time today. My name is Trehan Sangupre, and this the session that you're in right now is being conducted through a community, a student community basically, known as Doco Nation. Okay, and in that community you get a lot of stuff for for free, and like these sessions we keep on having different sessions on topics like web dev, app dev, design, UI UX, marketing, finance, startup and content, and even more domains to be added soon like blockchain, and if you're interested into hacking. Okay, so all of that stuff we're gonna add multiple domains very soon. Also, we have just started our YouTube channel as well, so all of these sessions, the live sessions, are gonna be put out on our YouTube channel as well, so go check it out. And I'll be leaving the links to everything in the chat box, and on the YouTube video you'll find it in the description below. So the link to Doco Nation or the Instagram handles or the other useful resources, whatever I'm talking about, you'll be getting it in the description or in the chat box. Okay. Okay, so I see that we have 17 people here now. So should we begin or should we wait for like 2 to 3 more minutes? What do you guys say? Okay. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop the link to this particular meeting so that if someone wants to join, you can share this link with your friends, and both of you can study together in this session and make this website. Okay, so both of you will have a cool website to show off to your friends at the end of the session. Okay, so I have sent the link to this meeting in the chat box. You can grab it from there and then you can share it with your friends and let them know that this is happening right now. They should come and check it out. And also I'm just dropping the link to the community so that while you're at it you can join the community as well. Okay, it's a great place. I'll be walking you through the community towards the end of the session so that you know what we're talking about, but still if you are new here you can just go check it out. It's a simple link that will take you to a community on Discord. You can just follow along. There's no payment or fee or anything. It's a free community for everyone. There are a lot of students, to be precise there are more than 200 students right now, and we are growing every single day. So yeah, check it out. Okay, more and more people are joining in. That's great. Okay, so a lot of people texted in the community or reach out to me whether asking that you have to install any software or something. So no, you won't have to install any kind of software. Okay, in this you just need a code editor like VS Code, Visual Studio Code, and a simple browser like Chrome, and you're good to go. Okay. Okay, so we are going to begin in just 2 minutes. So I want all of you, those who are available with their laptops and everything, I want all of you to just open up your laptops and open VS Code and a browser side by side so that you can start coding along with me. Okay. So once you're done, once you have opened your VS Code and your browser, just let me know in the chat box, type ready, and we'll begin. Everyone, open up your laptop, open up VS Code, open your Chrome browser, and create a new folder because this is a new project. Okay, so create a new folder and then just be ready with it because we're going to begin in just 1 minute. Okay, great. Akshat is ready. Both Akshats are ready. Vishal is ready. Someone is ready. That's great. Others as well, those who are gonna code along with me, quickly open up VS Code and your browser and we'll start. Okay, it's 7:40. I guess we can start now. A few of you are ready and others are opening up. So till then, let me just start sharing my screen. And someone just let me know whether you can see my screen or not. Okay, just give me a yes or visible in the chat box so that I'll know that the screen is visible. Okay, I have shared my screen. Just let me know. Okay. Thank you, Jagdish, Jayashree, Simran. Thank you so much, Akshat. Okay, so as you can see, even I have set up my whole environment, and this is the only thing that you need. You need VS Code or any code editor for that matter, like Sublime Text or Brackets. Can you wait for 5 more minutes? Okay, sure, we can.
Can we use Notepad?
Notepad, it's gonna be very, very tiring and difficult. So yes, you can, but you'll end up writing every single letter, and that's pretty boring and hectic. So till the time we are waiting, I guess it will just take around 5 to 10 minutes to download VS Code. So why don't you just go ahead and download it? Okay, so create a new folder for this project. You can name it anything. What we are gonna do today is that we are creating a whole web page. Okay, so what are the common attributes of a web page? Okay, so you basically have a nav bar. Okay, the second element that you see in a web page is header section, or basically the hero section. We call it hero section. Okay, or the landing part. So that is the next section that we'll be talking about. Then you can add some image carousels. How many of you know what a carousel is?
Image src.
Image
It is a
SRC. Yeah. Okay, that's how you add images. Correct. That's the correct answer. But carousel, if I'm talking about carousel or carousel, whatever you guys call it, okay, can someone tell me what a carousel is? You can write in the chat box or you can unmute and talk. There's no problem.
Basically, it is a slideshow of images.
Yeah, correct. Precise answer is a slideshow of images. Correct. So we can even add a carousel. Okay, we have a great carousel that's available to us in Bootstrap, so we'll be using that. And what other elements do you find in a website? You generally find a row of cards. Am I right? In a lot of websites, the most common element is a row of cards. So we'll be adding that. And then the last element that is very common in a lot of different websites is a row and column format. Okay, so you have like picture on one side, then you have text on the other, and then you reverse it, right? You might have seen that in a lot of websites. So these are just the very basic elements that almost every single websites use to portray their information, and that is what these elements we are going to create today using Bootstrap. Okay, So let me talk a little bit about Bootstrap. What is Bootstrap? Bootstrap is a CSS library, or basically a CSS framework. Okay, it is a class. They have class-based components that are already defined. So basically, when you need to style anything in your HTML code, what you do is you write CSS for it. Am I right? But what Bootstrap allows you to do is it already has done all the styling for you, and you just have to write the class names in your HTML element, and it is going to apply all those classes. Okay, so it's as simple as that. And in this session today, we are not going to make any CSS file at all, but still, when we'll finish making the website, I'll tell you how you can override certain styles that Bootstrap provides you, because you might want to add some, your own colors or something that you want to. So how to do that, we'll also talk about that later. But first, we'll be focusing on how to use Bootstrap and how to create this website. Okay, he is in, and okay, got it. So shall we start? Are you guys ready, everyone? Okay, great, good. Okay, let's go. Let me quickly set up this. Yep, the recording set up. Let's begin. Okay, so the only thing that we need today is a HTML file. Okay, nothing else. So let me do that. Okay, so index.html is gonna be the file name. Okay, and now we are on this. Now, as we all know, the boilerplate comes in first in any HTML file, right? So what you have to do is you have to press Shift 1, and that is gonna add exclamation mark, in your page, and then you need to press tab. So this is something known as boilerplate code. That means the bare minimum code required to start HTML coding. Okay, so this is something that you will get. So the only thing that we'll change here is the title, and we're gonna say that this is one page website using Bootstrap. Okay, so that's our title, and then inside the body we'll write hello world and check if everything is working or not. Hello world, save it, and then right click on it, open with live server. So for those of you who are new and don't know what live server is, so basically live server is a plugin in Visual Studio Code that you can install by clicking on the extension or the plugins icon here and then search for live server. Okay, so this is the extension that I'm using. It's by Ritvik Day, and you can go ahead and install it, and then you will also get the option of open with live server when you right click on the window. And that's why do we use that is that whenever I change something in my code, okay, let's say hello everyone instead of hello world, and I save it, you can see that it automatically changed everything towards the right of the page. Okay, so that's why we use it. Otherwise you'll always have to go and refresh your page. That's very tiring, so we don't want to do that. And coding is all about that, right? You need softwares and stuff to automate things in your life so that it becomes easy. And that is why we use this particular extension, so that we can easily automate this where we don't have to refresh anything, and it does that for us. Okay, so moving on, let's talk about Bootstrap for a while. Okay, let's talk about Bootstrap and how to actually install Bootstrap in your code. So for that, what you need to do is open a new tab and search Bootstrap. Okay, and then you'll get this website, getbootstrap.com. Okay, click on it and you'll be taken to a page. So today we are gonna use the 4.6 version of Bootstrap because 5 version is still in beta stage. Okay, so that's not the stable version of Bootstrap yet. Okay, as you can see that currently the version of Bootstrap is 5.0.0 beta 3. Okay, so I hope all of you know how releases work. So there's an alpha release which is just for testing purposes, beta release is just a small scale release which has a lot of bugs and all, and then finally the stable release comes in. Okay, so we are not gonna use the beta release, but we are gonna click on this thing that is version 4.6 docs, and this is what we are gonna use. So click on it and you will be taken to this page. Okay, so as I told, Bootstrap is a framework that uses CSS classes to style your elements on the page. So for that to work, you actually first need to install Bootstrap in your code. And how is that done? It can either be done by downloading Bootstrap to your computer and then using that distribution in your code, but the best and the easiest way is to just use the CDN links. Okay, so let's grab them from here. You can see that in the starting itself they have some links here and some links here, and they are saying you to copy. Okay, they're telling you to copy it, so we're just going to listen to them and we are going to copy this and then come here, and this is the link tag. Okay, this is the CSS for Bootstrap. Okay, so we're gonna come here and press enter, and inside the head paste the first link. Okay, so the first link is a CSS link that Bootstrap provides us. If you just go towards the end of the href, you can see that this is bootstrap.min.css. so basically all the CSS styling files of Bootstrap are stored inside this particular link, and that is what we have added here, okay, in the head. Now next thing, Bootstrap requires a bunch of JavaScript and jQuery code to run all of its functions. Okay, so for that they have created a bundle. Okay, so there's a jQuery JavaScript, okay, code for CDN, and the next one is called Bootstrap bundle, which basically has the Bootstrap JS file and the Popper JS file. So we'll be needing both of these. So it's okay if you don't understand how JavaScript works and all. We are just gonna add this, and we are not gonna write any single JavaScript code. So everything is done for you beforehand, and you just need to copy paste this stuff, nothing else. Okay, so again, copy the JavaScript code, and as we discussed in previous sessions, always add the script tags right before the body tag ends. Okay, so that means, let me just put some enter here, make some space, and exactly where the body tag ends, right before it, I'm gonna paste this. Okay, so 2 script tags pasted here, and then save it. Okay, so now chat box, everyone let me know if you have done this or not. If you have done it, type yes. If not, then please do it and then type yes. And this is all you need to install Bootstrap in your code. That's it. Now Bootstrap is installed and you're good to go. We can start creating the website. Send link. Shivam, as usual, you always find the easiest way, no? Someone also sending that link. Yeah, you can use that, or you can use this directly. So this is the link that you have to add in the head of the HTML, and these two are the script tags for your HTML body. Okay, take them, enter them, and type yes. I always cross check. Okay. Copy paste is the easiest job in computer. Okay, Shivam. Let's see. Great. So almost everyone has done this, right? Almost everyone got. Let's see who has got it. Okay, Jagdish, Anushka, Namit, Jay Shri, Simran, Saman. Okay. Quite a few have got this. Okay. So this is how you install Bootstrap in your code, and now you're done with it. And now we can start with creating the website. So Bootstrap, as I told you, is a class-based component library of different
Sorry to interrupt, Trehan.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Can you just tell how to open the .html file in VS Code?
Okay, I'll guide you through that. So what I did was I created a new folder. Okay, so anywhere in your system you can create a new folder and then open that in VS Code. Let me show you how to do that. Okay, so let me just close this file. Okay, let me just close this file, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Quickly, let me bring this on this screen. I don't want you guys to seeing all the files on my system. Oh my god, one more window opened. Okay, where is that file? Let me bring that up. Okay, so as you can see that this is a folder that I have opened here, and you can now right click here, okay, and open this with code. Okay, basically Visual Studio Code. When you do that, a new Visual Studio Code window will open, okay, on your screen, and in that then you will get, let it open, and in this then you can open up the file explorer bar here from the left side, and then here you can find a new icon for a new file, okay, and you can just create it. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, great. Let's move ahead with the session. Okay. So, as I was telling that Bootstrap is basically a collection of different components that are class based. Okay, so you just need to write different class names inside a div element or an h element, h1 element, heading element, paragraph element, and you're just gonna get some stuff predefined styles for you. Okay, like if you want to create button, the class is called btn. It's that simple. So let's put that to use, and I'll tell you how you can also do it immediately. So I'm gonna send this link which someone also sent, I guess, the 4.6 version documentation, because you are going to heavily rely on this, and you don't need to memorize any kind of bootstrap classes, because that is why documentation is given for. Okay, so if someone tells you that you need to learn all the classes, you don't have to. That person is lying. Okay, documentation is basically made for you to utilize it so that you can easily access it whenever you want, and then whenever you want to add something in your code or remove something from your code, you can just refer to it and copy paste stuff, and then you can change it according to your use. That is why these frameworks are made, so that your work is made more easy, and not to increase your work of remembering things. Okay, that's why these frameworks are made, so you don't have to memorize anything. And let's get started. So the first element in any website is the navigation bar. Okay, so on the left side of the documentation, you can see that there is this getting started button, and then you have different things here. Okay, so one of those things is called components. Okay, so we'll click on components, and then here you can see that there are a lot of components. Okay, alerts, badge, breadcrumb, button group, card, carousel, collapse, drop down, forms, and a lot of components. Okay, all of these already styled, ready for you to use. Okay, so let's do that. Here we need a nav bar. Okay, so let's scroll down to nav bar, click on it. Okay, so now you can scroll down here, and then you can find that this is a very common nav bar with responsive features inside it. Okay, so this looks cool, a common nav bar, and if I just expand the screen size, you can see that on larger screen it looks like this. So basically everything is already done for you, and you just are supposed to copy this code and paste it in your file, and then just change the content according to you. That's it. That's all you need to do. Okay, so let's just do that. We have this one. Let me go and search for a dark mode one, or let me just change it by myself. Okay, so let me just shorten this. Okay, so this is the code. I'm gonna copy this. Okay, and then come here inside the body of HTML. I'm gonna paste this and save it. And now when I do that and I go back to this my page, let it refresh. Okay, sorry, I have to open this again because I closed my VS Code. Let me do that. Yeah, now you can see that I have navbar ready in my website. I did not have to do anything, and my navbar is just ready, just like that. And now what I can do is I can just come here and change all of these names and links so that I can use it. And also, if you notice, in this navbar you have different options. You have active option, you have normal link, you even have drop downs. So you can just change these stuff according to your use, and you can add different stuff. Okay, let's just add a few more drop downs. Okay, so let's have a look at drop down. You can see that this is drop down. Okay, this is where you get the drop down, and then these are the links inside the drop down. Okay, an action, here it is written action, another action, this is another action, something else here. So let's just add one more thing. Okay, copy this, paste it below, and something else here. Let's add 2, save it. And now if I click on the drop down, you can see that I have a 4th option here that says something else here too. And that's how you edit things in Bootstrap. And as you can see, that Bootstrap relies heavily on class. Okay, so if I have to just walk you through this whole thing, let me just do that. You can see that our navigation starts with the class of navbar. So basically, if you go into the documentation of Bootstrap like properly, and you start reading stuff, so navbar is basically what gives the structure for the navbar. So the core styling of navbar is display flex, and then width 100, and then height 80 pixels. That's the core styling. And that is something that we did yesterday with the navbar, right? We wrote everything. But here, Bootstrap has done that for us. We don't have to do anything. That's the beauty of it, right? So you don't have to write anything. Bootstrap is doing this for you. So I hope all of you have a responsive navbar by now. Let's have quick yeses in the chat box if you have a responsive navbar. See, it was that easy. You have a responsive navbar immediately. Okay, let's talk more about it. So basically here it says navbar expand LG. Okay, so in Bootstrap you have some common terms like LG, MD and SM. SM basically means small screen size, MD means medium screen size and LG means large screen size. So here when we say navbar expand LG, this means that expand the navbar in large screen. Okay, that's what this means. That's why when you increase the screen size, it expands the navbar. You don't see the burger icon or the mobile menu anymore. Okay, in place of this, if I write navbar expand MD and save it, you will see that right now we are in a medium screen size, but we still see all the links expanded. So that is how Bootstrap works. Okay, if you change the classes, you can manipulate the styles because they are already predefined, and that's the best part of it. Okay, just like Bootstrap, you have another a lot of other frameworks also, like Tailwind. Tailwind is a famous one. Then there's Bulma CSS. Okay, then there's Half Moon, and then there's Materialize by Google. So there are a lot of different frameworks, but Bootstrap is by far the most popular one and the most widely used in the whole world. That's why we picked Bootstrap for today's session. Okay, let's do something else. Let's make it back to LG, so that because we need this navbar, you know, like kind of mobile on an iPad screen or a tablet screen. And let me show you something else. So right now this whole theme is light theme. It is Materialize made by Google. Materialize is not made by Google, but basically it is based on material design theory of Google. So yeah, it is somewhere linked to it. I don't know the exact developers who created it, but yeah, it is based on the material design theme that Google provides for, you know, mobile development or website development. So you can check out the website called as, I guess that's called material.design if you want to know more. Okay, so yeah, I was talking about this. So let's make it a dark theme website, okay, or just make it a dark theme navbar. How to do that? So basically there's this class that's called navbar light. What this does is it defines that whether your navbar is of a light color or light theme or dark theme. So if I change this navbar light to navbar dark, you'll see that my text and everything else, it became like, you know, the color changed to white, because now my code is thinking, or Bootstrap is thinking, that the theme that I have chosen for my navbar is dark, but I haven't done that. So let's do that. So here you can see that BG is light. BG basically means background. BG is short for background. So instead of light, let us make it dark. BG dark. And now you can see that we have a dark theme navbar. Just like that. No CSS till now. No CSS so far. Just a few bunch of classes that we are changing. Let's change a few links also, okay? So we have home. Instead of home, let's write something else like about or something, okay? So you can see that now we have home, about, and then drop down. Let's remove this disabled button, okay? This is disabled link. So where's this disabled link? Below the drop down, right? Okay, so we can remove this. And as you can see, we can even just remove the disabled class, okay? And if we do that, the link will be enabled again. Let's have a look. You can see that now the link is enabled again, right? So it's that easy. It's just a bunch of classes and you just have to change them. So let me just name this as contact or something, okay? Just for the sake of it. Contact, and the drop down may be called as services or something, right? Services, and save it. And we have a cool looking navbar here. Home, about, services. Inside services we have a drop down with different services listed there. And then we have contact, and we also have a search button here just to search something, okay? And if you want to know which class is used for what, so that is where documentation comes in. So you can go ahead and check out which class is used for which. But as for now, for this session, just follow along. Wherever the changes I am making, you can make them, or you can just leave them like that. It's up to you. Okay, so we are done with the navbar. Now let's move on to the next part. So after navbar, what we need is a proper hero section, or basically hero section is this part, okay, whatever is visible here, okay, whatever is visible on the screen when someone visits your website, that is known as hero section, okay, or basically the landing where the user lands immediately, okay. So let us now style hero section of our website. So for that, what we'll do is, let us go to now this bootstrap, and then I'll show you where to use that class. So now you have to click on layout, and in layout you'll get something known as containers. So basically, just like div and span are used to contain an element inside this whole browser and HTML, containers, they let you create different style of width based components, okay. So basically, if you want to put anything in any box or div, you need to use container, and it will give you a very good styled and properly spaced what do we call that, a box for your content. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna just not copy the code from here, I'm just gonna make a container by using class, because that's how we access bootstrap, right, using classes. So let's do that. Dot container, and then you can press tab and you'll get this. And let me just show you, let me write hello here, and you'll see what I was talking about. So you see what happened, this hello already has some space to the left, and if I just write some dummy text like lorem, and then maybe I need about 50 words, and if I save it, you'll see that from both the sides, right and left, I have equal spacing, and that actually makes my website looks good, okay. So that is why we use container whenever we are making a website, and that is why Bootstrap also provides this container for you to make a website, okay. So let me just get rid of all of this, okay, or let it just be here before we add anything. Let's just quickly style everything else using Bootstrap only, okay. So let's do that. So now what we'll do is, let me just what can we do here, this is a container. What we can do here is, we can make another container, because this gives some space in left and right area, but we want our website to be light theme or dark theme. What do you guys say, light theme or dark theme? The hero section, light or dark? Let's see, have a quick poll. why am I even asking this? Yeah, exactly, dark. Okay, I got it, dark. No one is going to ask for light. That was a stupid question, sorry. Okay, so what we'll need to do here is that, as I told you that there's a container, there's something known as container fluid, okay. Let's see the difference. So the next one is container dash fluid. So basically the only difference is, if I write hello here and save it, you will see that now it is sticking towards the left and it does not have any space. So that's the difference. Fluid basically stretches everything, okay, towards the end of the pages, okay, width 100%, and container does not, it gives you proper space. So to actually make the background dark, we are going to use container fluid and then make the background dark, okay. So we'll remove hello, and then we'll put this container inside the fluid container so that we can add our text, okay. So right now it looks like this. Now we need to make it dark. So we just now noticed a class called bg dark that makes the background dark. So let's add that, space bg dash dark, save it, and you will see that the background is now dark, but we need our text to be light colored. So just the way you think, that's the way that Bootstrap has named their classes. We want the text to be light colored. So basically, space text dash light, enter, sorry, save. And now you can see that you have light color. The text is visible on a dark background, and that is what we needed. Now let's fix everything up, make this whole section big enough for the whole page, and let's style things up using Bootstrap only, okay. So here, what we need to do. So this is the first time that we are gonna write CSS. The first time that we are gonna write one line of CSS. So we are gonna do inline styling, okay. So for that we need the style attribute, style equal to double quotes, and inside that you can, let me write it, minimum height is equal to, let's say, 90 VH. Okay, so now you can see that now it is almost 90% of the page, and that is what we needed. How to add more words? Oh, you're talking about that lorem ipsum, the dummy text, Shivam. Okay, so that for that you just, this is a shortcut in Visual Studio Code. It is done through Emmet. So what you need to do is you just have to write lorem, Lorem, and then the number of words that you want just after that, and hit tab or enter and you'll get it. Okay, just lorem and then the number of words, that's it. Okay, great. So let's move ahead. So this is the only line of CSS we need. We needed it to be 90 VH, 90%, 90 viewport height. That means the part of the screen that's visible to you, 90% of that, it's known as 90 VH. Now we need to arrange this stuff, okay, whatever we see on the screen. So let's do that. So as we know it that we need to use display flex whenever we want to center anything or have it like in a row or column structure, right? So let's do that. So Bootstrap has its own class to create display flex, justify content, and align items. It's just exactly as you would imagine. You just have to write d-flex, okay? And if I save it, you can see that now this whole thing is in a row, okay? So we have just one thing, that's why it does not show it here, but again, it is going on there. So, and the next one is going to be justify content center, and the last one is going to be align items center. So just like you write it in your CSS, you have the similar named classes here also. So you defined dflex, that means display flex, justify content center, basically justify content center, align item center, align item center. Okay, so you are just using classes, no CSS at all. Okay, and you have it in the center of your screen, right? Now let's create a kind of row and column layout here. So basically like some text in the left and a picture on the right. Okay, let's do that. Let's try and do that. Okay, let's try and achieve that thing. So instead of this hello and lorem ipsum, let me remove that, and I'm gonna add here a row. So this is where the best part of Bootstrap comes in. The responsive features are managed through something known as the display grid, or the basically the flexbox methods of Bootstrap. In the same way that you do it in your own code when you write CSS, you declare media queries. So Bootstrap has already predefined media queries for its row and column classes. Okay, so just like if you want to make a row, you just write row. Okay, so dot row, and now you have a row. That's what you need. And now you need to make two columns, right? One beside the other, text and the image. That's how you want it. So let's do that. So for column, what you need is a class known as column. So that is COL. That's it. That is a column. You have created a column. Okay, and let me just copy paste it. So we'll have two columns, and then let me show you. Okay, so hello here, and then the next one is going to be hello here. And if I save it, you can see that I have two hellos side by side, like generally you would have in any other row and column structure, right? Side by side. That's what we need. Okay, now let's begin making it more responsive, because by default in a tablet view or maybe a mobile view, they should stack on top of each other. So how to define that? So in column, you actually have something known as I told you in the beginning, SM, LG and MD. These three keywords are used to define the size of screen. So by default, a single page, okay, what you see in front of you is divided into 12 columns. That's the default of Bootstrap. Okay, Bootstrap uses this in this way. Okay, so if we just go over to Bootstrap and then we click on grid in layout, you'll actually see they have explained this pretty well, that by default there are 12 number of columns. Okay, so you can just define your each column's size by using a number. Suppose you can write col 2, so that means take 2 column space, and the other one, if you haven't defined it, it will automatically decrease the size. Okay, so let me show you that. If I here write col -1 and then do this, you can see that now this moved behind it. Okay, this stacked towards it because it has taken just one column space and nothing else. Okay, so that's very important thing to learn in Bootstrap, that is your page is divided into 12 columns. Okay, only 12 columns, and then you can utilize it on different screen sizes. So let's do that in here as well. Okay, so we need our page or this section to be stacked upon one another when it hits the medium screen size. So we don't want it side by side in a medium screen, or maybe we can keep it and we need it like on top of each other in a small screen. So for that, what we'll do is instead of adding this col1 here, we're gonna add here col sm12. That means this column on a small screen should take 12 columns. That means the whole space. That is what this whole thing means. And then again you can write col. For you it's always showing on top of each other. It's okay. Maybe because your screen size is too small, maybe it has default styling, so it will be there. Or check if you have given col or not. If you haven't given, then it won't work. So see if you are using the same classes or not, because it's very important. So the next one would be col sm12 and then col md6. This basically means take half of the screen, because half of 12 is 6. So from medium screen to the largest screen, okay, take 6 spaces. Okay, so if I say save, and then I'll do the same thing for this also, copy and paste it here, save it. And now if I move towards a smaller screen size, you can see that as soon as I hit the small screen size, now hello and hello both are on top of each other. But if I go towards the medium screen size, they are now left and right. So that is what this thing did, that on a small screen it is taking the whole screen, 12 column space, the whole screen, and medium screen and above, it is taking just 6 column space. That means half of the screen. That is what is happening here. Okay, you can see it happening in real time and it's working. So the whole page is becoming responsive one by one. Okay, let's now focus on the next part in here. So now we want to add some text here and some image here. So let's do that. So instead of this hello, I'm gonna add some text here. So let's say I can use h1. Okay, h1, and I can say welcome, and then add some br. Okay, welcome to the website or something like that. Save it. So you can see that h1, welcome to the website, is shown here. Okay, this is how it looks like. And then what I can do here is I can add some more text. Let's say p tag, and I can say that making this cool web page using Bootstrap. Save it. Someone is trying to join the meeting. Okay, allowed. Good. Okay, back to this. So now you can see that we have our heading here and we have our text here. Now let's focus on the other stuff, that is the second part, that is this. So let me just enter here and add an image. So img tag, and let me just go on to Unsplash and quickly grab a random image. Let's see what we get. So let's just take this one for instance. This one looks cool. So let us open it, copy the image address, and then paste it here in src. Alt basically is laptop on a table. Save it, and let's have a look at it here. Okay, so now you can see that this image is now getting distorted. Okay, so we'll fix it, no worries. What else can we add here? Apart from the heading and the text, we can add a button here, right? Usually websites have a button in their landing page. So let's add a button here. So below p, I'll add an a tag with the class of btn and also a class of btn-primary. Okay, and if I save it and right here, let's go and save it, you can see that I have a button here. You cannot see right now. Okay, now you can see welcome to the website, making this cool website using Bootstrap, and now we have a button here. Okay, and this has also come automatically just like other things using Bootstrap. So basically btn, it makes a button, and btn primary, it gives it's the blue color. Okay, so if you want to know more about the colors and all, you can come here and search for colors. Okay, and inside this you'll get to know about Bootstrap colors. So primary is blue, secondary is gray, success is known as green, danger is red, warning is yellow, and then info is slightly green and blue mixture, like a teal color. Okay, so that's the Bootstrap color nomenclature. So you can just use this as much as you can. Okay, use this as much as you can. This documentation is going to help you out, and that is how you learn Bootstrap, not by memorizing anything but by using this again and again. And that is how you can see me also writing it right on top of my head, because I have been using Bootstrap for a long time. So that means I am aware of the classes, and most of all we use the similar kind of classes everywhere. That's why I'm able to do it immediately. Okay, so let's come back to this and fix our image size so that we can actually see everything in a proper manner. So let me bring it back to the side like this and make it like this. Okay, not too much, this much is okay, so that I can fix it later. Okay, now let's do this one. So in Bootstrap you actually have a class that you need to add to images whenever you insert one, otherwise it will just end up being like this. So I have that class written with me, so I'm just gonna copy it and I'll send that to you guys also in the chat box. So just add this in the class of image. Okay, create a class in image and add this. So this, what this does is basically it just makes the image exact size of the web page that we need, and you can see that right now we have a proper image lying there where we need it. Okay, so I have sent the class that you have to add, and this also is not something that I have made. You can just go on to Bootstrap and find out that class inside the image section. Okay, so search for image and search for responsive images, and you're gonna get this class. Okay, immediately here if you scroll down you're gonna find that class and you can use it, or you can just use it from the chat box. Okay, great. So now we have this. What else do we need to do? Does everything look fine, or we can work on something else also? Welcome to the website, making the school web page using Bootstrap. Let's go. I guess it looks okay, right? I think we can move on to the next section. What about you guys? Do you need me to add anything here in the landing section? We will get it. Yeah, you will get this whole session on YouTube, so you can watch it from there. Are you guys done with this? Hero section is ready for you guys. Let me see how many are done with this. Akshat Mittal is done. Omkar is also done. Great. Saman is also done. Good. Akash, great. So we have a cool looking navigation bar and also a cool looking landing page. And if I now decrease the size, you can actually see that on smaller screens it is becoming responsive. Okay, but as you can see that right now the image and all, it is sticking to the button. Okay, image is not loading. Make sure that you grab the image properly, Akshat, because if you just go to this website and if you click here and then copy address, it won't copy it. So you have to open the image first properly, and just to be sure you can then again click here and click on open image in new tab, and then finally you will get the URL on the top URL window, and grab it and then add it. You will be able to see the image. Okay, so now we need to add some kind of space between the button and this image, right? So for that we can use padding. So again, Bootstrap has all its classes ready for you. So what we can do is inside this whole column we can add padding, and for padding you just need to use P. Okay, if you want to add padding to the top, you can use PT and then the number, and that's how you redo it. But right now we can add from everywhere. So basically this is going to be class of P dash, and let's make it a small padding, so like P dash 2, and you can see that now we have a little space between this. So let's add more, P dash 5 maybe. Okay, it's too much. P dash 3. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, so we have that. Yeah, sure, it's okay. This will be the link. If you are in the community, you will be able to get the link from there to the video, so you can watch it later on. Okay, so we have added this P3, and now we can use this. Is the number in pixels or percentage? Okay, so this particular number that we write, P3, we don't write pixel or percentage. This is basically defined inside the Bootstrap documentation. Okay, no, not rem also. This is relative to a certain Bootstrap documentation that they have kept, that 1 is going to be equal to certain number. So basically they keep it 16 pixels or maybe 2-3 pixels, and based on that they multiply over this number. Okay, that's how they keep this. So you can go ahead in the Bootstrap documentation and find out what it is. And also if you install Bootstrap locally, basically what we did was we added it through CDN links, right, in the head section and also below in the script section. So we used that to add Bootstrap, but you can download the whole file folder and everything, and you can even change that default value so that you can use it according to you. ACC2 viewport. What do you mean by that, Akshat Mittal?
According to viewport.
Sorry, according. Okay. According, no, it's not according to viewport. It is based on their general value. Okay, let me show you. In their documentation also, they have explained this in a similar manner. Let me just search for this. Okay, so let me just write P, or let me just write padding. Okay, so here you can see that there's a variable. Okay, so Bootstrap uses Sass in its main code for all the variable declaration. So they have declared a variable, okay, that is spacer. Okay, and based on that only you add 1 2 3 4 that multiplies with the spacer to give you that space which we see here on the screen. Okay, so you can go ahead, read the documentation, you'll find the value also somewhere. Maybe as far as I remember, I guess it's equal to 1 rem or 1.5 rem. Okay, so you can Google it and search it what the exact value is. But yeah, it's more of a what do we call it, work of your eyes when you see it. Okay, so based on that you can change the values and then you can see what's working best for you. That's the best way, and that's most of the front-end web development. It's based on what the thing looks like. That's more important. Okay, so now we can see that our website is slowly and steadily taking its shape. Okay, so we have a responsive navigation bar, and we also have a responsive hero section, okay, with this whole welcome to the website and an image on the right. And now let's move ahead and make a carousel below this section. Okay, let's make that. So for carousel, again you can just go ahead to Bootstrap and click on components. Okay, and here you can find carousel, and then you can scroll down. You can choose what you want. There's the first one with just without any controls, and it just automatically slides and shows you different slides. Then you have the one with arrows. Okay, so you can click and then slide it. Then you have another one which has some pagination on the bottom, so you can use this one. And then finally you have one with proper labels as well. Okay, labels. So we are going to use this with labels. Okay, so I'm going to copy this and I'm going to drop it here. But before I do that, I'll just add a container, because as I said, everything inside a container, the website will look seamless and homogeneous throughout the whole page. So dot container first, and then inside this I'm going to paste the carousel that I copied from here. Okay, and if I save it, it's not going to work because the images are not attached. So let's quickly go and grab 3 images for our carousel. Any 3 images. Let's take this. So copy image address. The first image src is empty. Enter it. Let's take another image. This one. Just randomly take any image, okay? Because we don't have any kind of instruction over what kind of website we are making. Okay, so we have added the second image, and let's add this one. Third image. Copy image address. And again src, we're going to change this to image. And now if I go back, you can see that now I have my carousel ready for me. And if I click on next image, you can see that the carousel is working. Okay, you can even click on the pagination to move around the carousel. Did you guys get the carousel with the images, or are you guys adding it right now? Okay, you need the image link as well. Okay, fine, I'll send it to you. Omkar is done with it. That's great. Others, those who are done with it, just write yes or done in the chat box. Let me know if you are with me. The second image, how many times do I have to copy paste for you, Shivam? Okay, Simran is also done. And the third image. Okay, go ahead, take these images, add it to your code. Okay, so one more thing that you might notice, if someone has added a portrait image, okay? A portrait image, like something like this, okay? Suppose you added this image. Let me just add this image and show you what I mean by portrait. So if I copy image address and come back to my code and change the second image from this to that portrait image and save it. So now what will happen is that if I click on next, it will actually increase the size, and if I click on next, it will decrease the size. So we don't want that. We want everything to properly be arranged inside this, okay, inside a specified size window. That's what we need. So for that, what we need to do is we need to write here again one more CSS styling, okay? So there's a property known as object fit, okay? That is what we are going to use here. So we are going to use style, okay? First of all, we need style, and then here we need object fit as cover, okay? So if you do that, and I'm going to copy this style to every image tag, okay? You have to add this to every image tag. Let me do that. Copy and paste, and here also copy and paste. And now if I go on to the next one, okay, let me define the size. So one part is done, that is object fit, and the next part is you have to now define the height of the image. What height do you need? So according to this web page, I guess this is around 500 pixels or something. So let's have it around 500 only, okay, or maybe 400. So let's say height height is going to be equal to 400 pixels or something. Let's see, 400 pixels is this much, okay, fine, looks good. Let me copy height also, copy and paste, style tag, paste, and the last one also style tag, paste. Let's try it out, and now you can see that every image is of equal height, and even the second image which was very large and a portrait size, that is also now defined in a certain aspect ratio, that you need this much height of the image in the carousel, so that it does not grow more than that and does not break your page. Otherwise, every time you click on the next image, it just keep increasing and decreasing. That we don't want that, okay? So these two properties are very important while adding images to a carousel in Bootstrap, that are object fit, so that it fits throughout the whole object available, and the second one is you have to define the height of images, okay? That's very important. So, okay, all of you got this? Did you try it out with a new image, or you're just using the previous one? Because previous one almost everyone was of the same size, okay? But still, if you have taken a certain kind of different image, this is how you're gonna make it work, okay? So for your reference, let me just quickly drop this in the chat box again, so that you can refer to it if you want to. This is what I added: object fit cover, and height is equal to 400 pixels, okay? So we have our carousel, but it is sticking to the section above, so let's remove that. For that, we need to add some margin so that there's some invisible space above the containers, okay? So beside this container, we are gonna write my, okay, my, and let's make it 5. So basically what my means is y-axis, okay? Margin on the y-axis, that means top and bottom of 5. 5 is basically that particular thing which I told you, so 5 into spacer, so basically 5 into 1 rem, so 5 rem. That's the amount of margin that it is giving here, okay? So okay, finally we have our carousel here properly functional, okay? And now you can go ahead and change the title of each one and change the text of each one. It's up to you. You can do that and you can create your website, okay? Now let's move on to the next section. Let me see how many are done with this carousel. Done with it? Yes, type yes or done. Okay, Akshat Mittal, Akshat Khosya. What about others? Omkar done. Great. Shivam done. Good. Someone is also done. Okay, most of you same names done. Okay, great, great, great. I hope others are also trying it out. Okay, Namit done. Akash done. That's great. Okay, let's move on. Next section that we talked about was cards, right? How to add cards. So again, Bootstrap being so nice to us, it has given us cards as well. So let's go towards card and then add some cards. So here, this is a normal card. Okay, good. Everything looks fine. But let's just go ahead, scroll down a little bit, and we'll find that it will already have a proper card group for us. Okay, so we can just normally grab that and add it immediately. So scroll, scroll more. Somewhere it will have card styles, border. There are a lot of things. Okay, here it is. Card groups. Okay, this is what we need, card groups. So let's just find it out. Which one should we use? The first one, or maybe we can use this, right? With image and all, so that we can add images also to this. Yep, let's use this. So I'm gonna copy this. Okay, card deck. If you guys want, I'll send you the link of this particular thing so that you don't have to scroll. So just click on this and you'll be taken to the exact position, and you can then copy this code. Okay, copy this code and come here, and again before we paste it we need a container. So container, and inside the container place the cards. Save it and let's have a look. We have all the 3 cards ready for us. That's simple. Nothing is required. Everything is properly done for us. And the best part is they're already responsive. So if I do this, okay, they're not responsive. Okay, no, they are. On a small screen only. So not on a medium screen, but on a small screen they are. So we can fix that by writing that col MD12. If we do that, they'll be responsive on a smaller screen, medium screen as well. But for now, it's working on a smaller screen. See, on top of each other. And if I make it larger, you can see all of them are side by side. That's how we need it. Let's add some images. So let's grab some more images. Copy image address, place it here. So it's mostly copy paste for now because this is the same thing. Let's grab some more images. Okay, I clicked something else. Okay, let me come out of this and grab something else. Do you need these images too, Shivam? Yes, please. I knew it. Okay, fine.
You better copy it before you ask for it.
Yeah, no, I have it with me. I'll just send it to you. I know everyone might be copying the links what I'm sending, okay? It's just Shivam who is speaking or telling me to send it. So, okay, I'll just send it so you guys can do it. No one wants to do the this kind of मैंने किया तो आ रहा है नहीं मैंने किया तो आ रहा ही नहीं. Okay, I did not get it. Acha, okay, images you're not getting. It's okay. Take these images and add it. Okay. So yeah, we have added the images. Let's have a look at it. So let me save this, and you can see that now we have proper images along with card title, along with card text, and yeah, let's add some buttons also, right? Let's add some buttons. So if you remember how to add buttons, you need a.btn and then dot. Let's add some red buttons, or which color? Let's add some green buttons, success buttons. So btn space success. Okay, enter it, and then we can write something here, hey or something, and then save it. You can see that we have a button now. It's that simple. Nothing is required. It's that simple. Okay, we can also add some margin to the bottom so that the text is not sticking to the button. So margin bottom basically is MB, margin bottom, and then we can give a number like 3 and save it. So you can see that now it has pushed it below. That's what we need. Okay, so that's how you can add button. So you can add button in all of the cards, but I guess that's it for now for this, and that is how you add cards to your website. So all of you, I hope, have cards in your website. Do you? Just write yes if you have got this. Let me see who has got it. Yep, Namit has it. Namit has the cards. That's great. Akshat has it. Okay, Onkar, Aditi, great. That's great. So everyone has the group of cards, right? So that means our whole website is slowly and steadily coming together into the format where we want it to be. Wherever you want, Shivam, wherever you want. You want it after this last updated, you can add it after it. Okay, let me add it after it. Control X, and below this, and instead of MB here we'll write MT, basically margin top. So now our button is here. Okay, anywhere you want you can add it. Margin top is too much, so empty 2. Yeah, okay, this much is fine. So we have our cards with us. Okay, now we move on to the next one, which is having something like left and right. Okay, so basically to show you an example for that, I'll open up the website. Let's say careers.dokujin.com. Okay, so this is a website where we offer different kind of courses and all. Okay, so you can check this out if you are interested in it. So let me open up a course and show you the layout which I'm talking about. Okay, so we have a general layout like this only in the website that we are making through Bootstrap. Okay, this one has been completely written in CSS, so this is custom styling, but the one we are making right now is in Bootstrap. Okay, so let me scroll down. So these are basically cards without any background, and then this is what I'm talking about. Okay, left image, right text, left text, right image, the alternate row column structure. This is what we are going to make in our Bootstrap website right now. So let's do that. Okay, let me close this up, and you can see how beautiful this looks in PC window. Basically everything has come together so nicely. One thing that I notice right now is that our navbar is not contained properly. Am I right? So can anyone tell me what to do? Let me see whether you have been paying attention or not. What do you think we should do? There are two options here. Let me see if you can get it right.
We can fix that top.
We can?
Fix that top.
Okay, yeah, that is something that we will do. Okay, my question is that everything on the page is properly spaced. That means there's some space towards the right and towards the left. So even the navbar should have that, right? Margin is something that's gonna break everything.
We can add padding.
Padding is one option, correct? Okay, align top we'll do. Okay, so if you want your website, this navbar to stick to the top, all you have to do, just like the word I said right now, stick. Okay, so you can go to navbar again, and in the class here where you have navbar and all, you can just write sticky and then dash top. When you do that, now your navbar is gonna stick to the top. It's that easy. Just one line, one class, sticky dash top. That's it. Okay, and the next thing, correct, Namit, we can use a container also. Okay, so we can contain everything inside the navbar under a container so that it is properly spaced. But let's just use the padding one here. Okay, so for padding we need padding from in the x-axis, right? So for that we'll use px dash, and let's say we'll make it 4 or something. Let's have a look. Okay, so it has increased a little bit of space here. Okay, I guess we'll have to use both. So px5, let's have a look. Yeah, it's not giving that much space, so let us add the container here. So I'm gonna write container just after I open my navbar. Okay, so that I have all my classes, that means the dark background, light color and everything. And here I'm gonna write dot container. Okay, dot container, and inside this I'm gonna grab everything that I have here, every single thing from here till this last div, control X, and then put it inside the container. Okay, and now you can see that we have it in a proper manner. Okay, so now you can see that everything is aligned perfectly just the way we need it to be. And this is how a website looks really nice when everything is just totally aligned. This is one of the design principles if you go ahead and go deeper into UI UX development, okay, or basically a UI design of a website. This is something that you'll come across a lot of times. Okay, the aesthetic of a website is totally dependent upon the white space that you have. Okay, so basically white space is the empty space in your website. So empty space is very, very important to make a website look good. If you have this website from end to end, it won't look that great. Okay, you can try it out, remove all the containers, and you'll have your answer. It will not look that great the way it is looking right now. Okay, so we are done with the navbar fixing and everything. Now let's do the last part, that is add those row column structure. Okay, and for that I'm not gonna copy any code and all. I'm just gonna make it in front of you so that you know how to use the classes also. Okay, so the thing that I talked about, row and column, that is only the thing that we'll be using here. So let's do it. So the first thing is a container. Okay, so dot container, enter. You have a container. Let me bring it back to that position. Yep. Okay, so we have a container. Let's give it some margin. Okay, top and bottom, so my5. Okay, we have some space here, and then in container we need a row, right? A row, because we need left and right, so basically that's a row. So dot row, and by default row is already defined as display flex. Okay, so you don't need to do display flex again and again. Row by default has that property. Okay, and how I know that? I have read the documentation, so you can go ahead and see that row already has display flex, so you don't need to do that. Okay, inside this row, okay, let's visualize. We have a row and we need one column and two columns, so basically two columns here. So let's add those. Okay, so dot col, and again, as we talked about it earlier, we need it to expand totally on small screen and be half the screen on a bigger screen size. So basically that is col sm12. That means on small screen take all the space. How is that all the space? Because we wrote 12. That is what we mean by that. Okay, col sm12, and then again one more dot. Okay, so that we can add one more class, and that is col md6. That means medium screen and above take half the space, and press enter. So we have our column. Let me write hello here, and then just copy this whole thing and then paste it. So if I check now, you can see that I have one hello written here and the other one written at the center of the screen. Okay, so that means I have both the columns. If you want me to specify which column is which, I can add some color in this. So I can say bg primary, so that this becomes yellow, and blue, and I can do bg danger basically, and then save it. So you can see that this is how the column looks like. Okay, this is what it looks like. And if I reduce the screen size, okay, it's not happening in that way. Why I'm not getting? Okay, Windows works in very mysterious ways. Okay, so now you can see that the columns are on top of each other. Okay, the blue one is the first one and the red one is the second one. Okay, so if I again make it larger, you can see that now it's half. That is what we defined, that medium screen and above you should increase the size to just half of the screen, and when it's a small screen then you should have it like this on top of each other. That is basically the whole screen. Okay, great. Let's move forward with this. So we have this ready with us, and now we just have to add some content inside it to basically make it like the way we want to look. Okay, so the first part, let's say left side is basically an image, so let's add an image, img. Again, the class I have already sent it, so make sure that you add that class. Okay, so let me just, again, I'll also copy the same class, the one which we used in the main window. Okay, the main landing or the hero section. Okay, that class. This is the class img fluid, rounded top and everything. Copy it and then come here at the bottom where we need it, and then here I'll just place it here and then create the, okay, it is not going to create it. Okay, fine. So I'm going to create img and then write class and then paste it. Okay, and let's go and search for an image again. Let's see if I can find another image, any image for that matter. Okay, fine, let's have a look at this one. Looks good. Copy image address, src, paste for you, Shivam, paste, and save it. So now here you can see that I have my image here on the left side, and now I can add some text here on the right side. So let's do that. Okay, I messed up the div tag. Wait, yeah, okay, it's fine now. So the next column will have, let's say, a heading. So h2 basically. H2 can be this is a heading. Okay, just some random text. Okay, and then I can add a p tag here, paragraph, and then do lorem maybe 15 words. Okay, lorem 15. Save it. So now I have this. Okay, this is a heading. This is this. This is that. Everything is done. Let us remove those background colors. So remove bg danger. It does not look good. And also the primary so that we can see it properly. Yeah, so now we have this. Now we have to align it properly. Let's add some more text here. So let's just copy some more dummy from here and paste it right here. So we have more text. Okay, and now what we need to do is we need to align everything centrally. Okay, so display flex by default gives you those things, justify content, align items, and as we know that row is already a flex, so we just need to write the properties. Okay, so justify content center, center, and align items center. Save it, and you'll find that everything is properly centrally aligned, and this is how we need it, right? And now what we need to do is I'll just copy this whole row and paste it below 2 times so that I have 3 different rows. Okay, same thing 3 times. And one thing which I forgot was adding a little bit of margin so that everything is properly there. You know, we have proper space in between. So for that we can add a margin class to these. So let me just click here, space, or just click here and then again go here and alt click, and then space. I need margin in the y direction of, let's say, 4. Save it, and now we have space in between. Paste here also. Which thing do you want me to paste? Okay, I'll repeat once more. Okay, so what I did here was, let's focus on the one part only. Okay, that is this is what we are creating, a row, and that is just what we are copying again and again. Okay, because everything is same. Inside row we just need these classes. There are justify content center to justify everything horizontally, and then we have align item center to justify everything vertically. Okay, and then we have my4. My basically means in the y direction, that is top and bottom, add a margin of 4 into whatever that spacer is. Okay, that's what this means. And yeah, that's it. If you need this class, then I'll just add it here for you so you can grab it. This is for the row. Okay, and as you can see that our whole code, this whole thing is actually responsive, and on smaller screens it looks like this. We have our heading, we have our this, everything looks fine. And if I go into a bigger screen, you can see that this is properly aligned. But as we talked about it, we need it in reverse format. So in display flex, we have a property called flex direction, right? We studied about it yesterday in the previous section. So if you want to know more about how to use flex direction and what it does, you can just go to the playlist called as how to on our YouTube channel, and then you can just play the video and you can find the way how to do that and what it does. So basically I'll explain in brief. So flex direction defines what direction should your row flow into. So basically by default, flex direction is always row. That means in horizontal direction, proper flow. And if you reverse that, okay, row reverse, then it becomes the reverse of whatever it is. Okay, so we basically need to do that Akshay Kumar meme, you all know. Okay, that is what we are going to do. So let me increase the size here, and the first one, let's leave it like this, and the second one we can reverse. Okay, so go to the second one. This is the first row, and this is the second row. And this, what we need to do is we need to add one more class, that is flex row reverse, and save it. And you can see that it has reversed it. It has done that. Okay, and that is what we needed, right? We needed it to be reversed in 1. And now you'll be thinking that maybe it has messed up our mobile view, but let us see what it has done. If you go into the mobile mode, you can see that it is still properly available in your mobile mode. So it does not mess up your mobile mode. It just fixes the way you want it in your PC mode. Okay, because you wouldn't want it like reversed in a mobile view, right? You would want it in a proper format. That is why it does not do that. So people at Bootstrap, okay, fun fact, Bootstrap is made by Twitter. All of you know what Twitter is, right? Hashtag something is resigned, trending nowadays, everything, Twitter, all of you know it. Yep, okay, great. So yeah, that is it. This is our website. We have full functional web page for us. We have a nav bar working on a mobile screen. We have it working on a desktop screen. We have a proper this hero section. Okay, we can even justify this also. No, we did not justify it properly. So let's just add those classes. We'll go back to the hero section, and here we have this row. Inside this row, we can just add this justify content center, align item center. Control C and Control V. Now if we go in the larger screen, yeah, now it is centrally aligned. Okay, so just add that there. But yeah, overall we have our website, we have a nav bar, we have a landing section, a hero section, and if we scroll below, we have our carousel, image carousel, everything is fixed. Then we have our card section, a beautiful card deck with buttons and all that you can add. And then we finally have the next most basic element of any website around the world, that is this column row reverse layout. Okay, so basically now you have a full functional web page at your disposal that is made through Bootstrap, and that's it. We finished it in, yeah, we took almost 1 hour 10 minutes. So if we remove the time for the copy pasting so it was basically 1 hour that we finished the whole thing, right? So you have a proper website with all the proper components with you in 1 hour. That was Bootstrap for you guys. And yeah, that's it for today's session, and I hope all of you liked it. If you did, we'll be posting it again on YouTube. This is a live session right now, so we'll be recording, this is being recorded and we'll be posting on YouTube. So if you want to refer to any part of the whole session and just walk through it, you can just go ahead and check it out on YouTube. While you're at it, leave a like, subscribe to the page, and yeah, just help us out in this whole journey that we are on with you. Okay, and now as usual, I will be stopping to share my screen, and I'll be addressing your doubts if you have any. Okay, so let me make it half. Now okay, I'm sorry, but we cannot say that here right now. Shivam.
LOL.
LOL, yeah. It's okay. You just increased my work of blurring things out from the video.
More.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and if you have any other doubt, anyone at all, go ahead. You can unmute yourselves. You can share your screen also. Okay, but first ask me and then share your screen so that I know who is sharing. And or you can drop your doubts in the chat box and I'll be addressing them. Okay, go ahead. For others, it's already 9, so if you want to go ahead and have your dinner and stuff, so you can. And those who are new here, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. I'm gonna leave the link to that. Wait a second. Let me give you the link of our YouTube channel. And also join Doko Nation, because that's what making all of this possible. This is through Doko Nation, the student community, and we are working day and night for you guys and bringing you all of these great sessions in different domains, so that you can just learn, and every day you can learn something new. That's what we want. Okay, for everyone to grow and learn something new. So I'm gonna drop both the links in the chat box. Okay, this is the YouTube link, and the next one is going to be the community link. So go ahead and join the community and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And everyone, thank you so much for joining in today. I hope you like the session, and all of you have a cool looking web page with you that is responsive, and it's just really amazing. Let me see how many of you got it. Does anyone want to show their page if you have done something different, or just normally if you want to show it off? Press the bell icon, reh gaya. You know the drill. I don't want to do that. Like, share, subscribe, press the bell icon. Okay, fine. We'll do it later, but not right now. This is a live session, so let's focus more on the live part, that we are interacting right now, because you won't get this on YouTube, right? That's the main point. This is live interaction we have here. Marketing OP. Go ahead. Okay. Yes, Akshat. Go ahead. Share your screen. Let's see what Akshat has made.
Let's decode.
I don't think we'd have to decode. Yeah, Akshat has been sending yeses and done throughout the whole session, so he has made it.
Might
Let's
have
have a look.
a little bit of problem.
Yeah, maybe.
If any.
Others as well, you can unmute yourselves, you can talk. This is a community session, it's for you guys. Don't be shy and just interact. Also inside the community, just talk, dude. You guys are just attending the sessions and all. Interact. You have a network tab. Connect with each other on LinkedIn. Increase your connections, and just generally talk with each other and get to know each other and help each other out. Let's see. Okay. Akshat, acha, okay. Both the Akshats asked to show. Okay. Okay, that's great. Okay, so you have used different images. Thank you so much for that. Great job. What about Akshat Mittal? Akshat Mittal asked me he wanted to share the screen. Yep, share your screen. Others, once again, thank you so much for joining in today. And if you want to leave the session, you can. The session is over. And just thank you so much for being here. And do consider subscribing and also joining Doco Nation if you haven't.
Is it visible?
Yep, it is visible.
Here it is.
Okay, cool choice of images, great. Okay, really amazing images selection you have. That's great. No, seriously, they look nice. Yep,
Thanks, sir.
correct. So you have it. Okay, so this is some kind of web series or what? You have the characters and all.
Yes, sir.
Right,
Vampire
right.
Diaries.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it. Okay, good work.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else?
In his one, the cards, the pictures on the card, the images on the card have different height.
They
The
have
second
different
one.
height.
The second one had a different height.
Okay, so he can just use that object fit property and you can do it. Okay, object
Object,
fit, and then you
yeah.
can define the height and you'll be fine
Mhm.
with it. Anyone else who wants to show what they made? Is there some way to crop images according to us? Maybe you're writing. Yeah, that's what I said. Now you can define the height of the image, the kind of height you need. Okay, suppose if you need just 50% of the whole card, so you can just write height 50%, and then you can do object fit. So whatever the height or you have defined, the images also will then cover themselves to that proper region, and then that is the height that you'll get. So everything is gonna be even. But mostly, you know what happens in a company or industry, that you don't take images from the internet, right? You are creating something for your brand or a person, so they're going to provide you the exact size that you have to use. So mostly you won't even need these properties, but that is just for your reference, that yeah, there are properties that exist where you can do this. Okay, thank you so much, Akash, for joining. See you soon. It's okay, Jayashree. As usual, I'll be dropping in the CodePen link, and you can go ahead, check out the whole structure and see where you went wrong. Okay, and you'll have the video as well, so you can follow along once again on YouTube. If I want to cut the bottom part, then you can just go ahead and edit the image. Otherwise, there's a property known as clip path. Okay, there's a CSS property known as clip path, and I guess rectangle is deprecated now, but you still have the inset property. So using inset, you get access to top, right, bottom, left, just like you get it in margin padding and all. So you can write clip path on the image itself. Okay, style the image and then clip path, then you can write inset, and then you can, if you want to crop it from the bottom, then the first, second are going to be 0, the third one can be anything in pixels, and that is going to crop your image. Okay, that's how you can do it. That's the most easiest way. Or you can just Google clip path, you'll get a lot of things. Okay, you can use them. Yeah, if you want the CodePen link right now, I'll just drop it immediately. Yep, I have it here. So this is the CodePen link, so you'll get the whole code for this website which we just now made, and you can just refer to it. And also the video will be uploaded by tonight, so you can grab it on YouTube as well. Okay, anyone else, any doubts? Otherwise we'll end the session. Thank you so much, Akshat.
Not a doubt, but I didn't get a shout out yesterday. I posted a story.
Someone, I don't know why, but when you post a story,
I tag Dokujan every time, but you
we
don't
don't
get the
get
tag.
it. I just don't know
Yeah.
why.
Instagram is so buggy. You get the tags for Cap Dokujen, but
Yeah,
you don't
we
get
get the
the tags for Dokujen.
we get the tags for Cap Dokujin. Okay, you're not following Dokujin.
No, I do follow Dokujen.
You are not. That's why we don't get the tag.
No, I follow Dokujen. I get your post in my feed. I am following right now.
It's okay. It's okay.
I do follow it. I don't know why it happened.
It's okay. It's okay. Might be some bug again. Instagram is very buggy, as you said.
Okay, I just unfollowed and followed once
Yeah.
again.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. Now maybe you can try
I just
and put
unfollowed
stories.
and followed once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay. Anyone else? You will get a shout out if you share, dude. That's not a problem at all. And we have a page for the community as well, but that's not functioning as of now because we are waiting to reach at least 500 in the community, and then will dedicate that particular Instagram page for the community members only. Okay, so basically, whatever you guys are gonna make, you guys are gonna function that particular page on Instagram. So whatever your achievements are, whatever you're making, the sessions, everything, it's gonna be really cool. So quickly share it with your friends, increase the count to 500. Okay, let's make it to 500 by the end of May. Let's see if that happens. Okay, we still have 14 members. Okay, any doubts? Anyone? Okay. Okay, then let's end today's session on this note. Thank you so much again for joining today. And again, if you are in the community, you can reach out to us anytime and your doubts will be cleared if you don't have any now. And you'll be getting the recording of the session on YouTube and the code on CodePen. I've already sent the link. So, yeah. Stop spreading lies. What kind of lies, Namit? Acha, someone Instagram bugs. Array, it's okay, it happens. Sometimes it happens. No problem in that. Okay, then thank you so much, guys. We'll see you in the next session.